So Jake, what are we doing? Laying out
this heavy sucker right here.
laying out all the turbo. So anyway, I'm here at Power by the Hour. Jake Long, Perdomo's hanging out, and I got the mamalona here. And I wanted to have him lay out the turbo parts that are gonna devise the kit that he's gonna put in his mamalona. So start talking turbo stuff, because I don't know what the hell's happening. Tell me what this is.
This is a turbo.
Oh, nice.
It's a bullseye 80 millimeter with a 96 turbine. I'll show you that. That's the 80 there. Billet wheel. It's called the street billet.
It's a ball bearing.
No, it's not ball bearing.
Journal.
This is the poor man's turbo. That's the 96 T6 exhaust, 132 AR. I'm using a giant exhaust housing and wheel to try to keep back pressure down so that we don't have valve float at high power and high RPM.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Will it have valve float at 650 wheel?
650 wheel?
I mean, what's the goal, really? What is the goal with
8 and change.
8 and change?
Maybe close to 900.
Damn. Get some valve springs on that bitch?
No, we won't be doing that. Now, because you get flow from the big wheel and the big housing, you lose spool up. You're losing, bringing the back pressure down. The spool up is going to be a lot slower.
Okay.
So to combat that, we're going to do what's called a quick spool valve. And we're going to do that with a 60 millimeter wastegate.
Okay, so I don't know what the fuck oh, wait. No, you got to go up a little bit. Up. They like, yeah, there you go. There's some
You don't know what you're looking at? It's a wastegate.
No, and you know, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the purpose of a wastegate normally is to control boost by exhaust, by controlling the amount of exhaust volume that's going into your turbo, driving the exhaust wheel.
Okay.
What we're going to use this one for is to close off one of these ports. We're going to have a 2.5 inch pipe come in, feed one. Primary, you know, it's going to be all the exhaust from the engine going through one side.
Okay.
Essentially splitting this housing in half. You can look at it as now it's not a T6, it's a T3 132, right? We're cutting it in half. This valve is closed. All the exhaust is going through this side. This will have a 5-pound spring or so. We're going to play with that. So let's say 5-pound spring. 5 pounds goes to the bottom of the wastegate, opens the wastegate. Now the other side of this Y, it's going to be 2 pipes wide from one, is going to start flowing through this wastegate and into this port. Okay?
Basically, you're doing that to create velocity?
Velocity on this one. We're going to get it spooled up fast. All the heat, velocity, everything from the engine is going through one side, spooling it up fast, and then we need flow at high RPM or higher boost. This opens up, boom, now we're feeding both sides.
Okay. At 5 PSI, that's what you're going to play with.
Yeah, I'm going to play with, start at 5 PSI. I'm thinking probably nitrous jet or something to slow down that action, right? We don't want it to just open and dump a bunch, take a bunch from here and dump in here. So we'll see, we'll play with it. You know, different jets get it to open slower. So we got one to do that job.
And you got a second one.
We got a second one. Now this one will control the boost like it's supposed to. Normally,
Okay.
Right?
So that one will be closer to the engine bay.
This one will be before the Y.
Yep.
Right. So we have the Y pipe off of the manifolds coming together. You got your flange right around the transmission cross member. From there, we'll have a single 3-inch pipe. It'll split into 2, maybe 3 2.5 inch pipes, depending on how we set this up. And then, so before that Y, we're going to have one wastegate controlling the boost.
Okay.
The next wastegate will be controlling the spool. And then we have the normal, you know, blow-off valve that's going to be on the cold side, which is just a tile.
I think the nice thing about MAP is you can put it really close to the manifold, right? Because there's no MAP sensor to care about.
Right, but you want to keep it close to the turbo, right? So then when it blows off.
It's closer to the turbo than way
Yeah.
downstream.
Yeah, so just gotta.
What's the advantage or disadvantage of having it closer to the turbo mechanically?
Mechanically, all that pressure that's in that pipe then has to
It lessens the pressure quicker.
at the turbo, yeah.
Right.
So just their race port blow off.
Why don't you get the ones that go choo 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 choo? Or is that a problem with like the sizing of the blow-off valve? When you hear certain noises coming off the turbo, you're like, is that proper? Because I hear
Yeah,
people go,
not.
oh, it's not sized properly.
Compressor surge, and that's not good, although I've seen them run forever like that. So then this is going to be mounted under the truck, which will put the truck up in the air.
Show where it's going to
where
go.
it's going to be.
Okay.
And because of that, we need to pump the oil back to the engine. So I picked up the, what is this, Turbo Works pump. It'll be a -10 in and out. Coming right off the turbo, there'll be no accumulator. Just suck it right out of the turbo.
Okay. So no accumulator would be like a tank?
The tank, yeah.
Okay.
We won't do that. This will just come right out of there and pump up to the motor.
Will cavitation be a problem?
Not with this pump. It's not supposed to be. But we'll see.
Right. All right, cool. So
Then to make things easy up front, I picked up a Full Race intercooler.
is that the name of the
Full
cool
Race is the brand.
Got it.
He does a lot with the EcoBoost motors.
See you later, Frank.
See ya. He does a lot with the EcoBoost motors. So this is actually I'd call it the max effort EcoBoost intercooler. It's got some size to it. It measures 3 3/4 wide. I think it's about 24 inches by maybe 18 or so.
If I lay my dick down there, should be three of my dicks.
Oh, I thought it was 2.
8 type. Oh, well, 16.
We
Well,
can talk about it.
depends how hot you are.
And he's got his own brackets, so this actually bolts into the factory bolt holes on the frame,
Okay.
and then mounts the intercooler with rubber grommets. There's an upper mount too that I'm getting, so it's a bolt in. Saves me time and effort, and it's a nice piece.
Nice.
Gas tanks.
You mind talking money?
This whole setup was just under $1,000.
Okay.
Intercooler, brackets, the grommets. And to me, really, once you buy a core, design the tanks, build the brackets, and do all that, it's well worth it to buy
Okay.
that. You know, so
And for the amount, is there a horsepower rating on these kind of intercoolers, or is it more of a flow?
it doesn't have it really rated exactly, but the wording is, you know, if you're pushing your EcoBoost to 700, you know,
That's the one to
this is the one to get.
Can you show me the inlet where you said it was split?
Yeah. So this is something we learned a while ago. It's something he applied to his intercooler that I like. So you see in the end tank, it's divided. This is divided in half, and it splits the intercooler essentially in half, making it 2 intercoolers. Half of your air is going through one, is forced to go through one, half is forced to go through the other side, so it's more efficient. Otherwise, this could be open, your air could all go up to one section, so all your air is wanting to go through one side, or one half, I should say, where this forces it to travel through 2 pieces and makes it more efficient. So that, yeah, I was happy to see that he did that.
Very cool. I had no idea that was even a thing.
Yeah,
But it makes sense. The path of least resistance, so it'll be at the bottom.
exactly.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so what's next? Get the truck up in the air
Pull the
and
truck
lay that out.
I pulled the muffler and tailpipe off.
Okay.
That's the area that this is going to end up, so I'll put it up in there and show you. I got the turbo from Bullseye. Bill at Bullseye hooked me up. Got a 5-inch to 4-inch reducer.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're going to do
Shit.
4-inch exhaust on, you know, from here all the way out the back.
And the point is to be quiet, right? You're not a big fan of noise. You're not a big fan of just making a bunch of noise, letting everyone know what you got.
Yeah.
But 4-inch turbo, like, is it just gonna sound like a truck, or is it just kind of
It's hard to say, honestly.
like a Mack truck? I mean, like a
biggest-
diesel truck or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it may. I am going to use the biggest 4-inch muffler I can fit in there. The turbo itself is going to quiet it down.
Yep.
the muffler, obviously, the bigger, the quieter. It's still going to be straight through. I'm not going to do anything that will restrict it.
Magnaflows have always been pretty good.
Yeah, there's a few out there, especially being that you're getting in that diesel size range. There's a lot of options for mufflers in that size. You know, I just want to quiet. I want to be able to pull up on somebody and be unexpected. You know, just
Go up there, roll up, and just fuck around. You're not looking to break records. You're not looking to be the fastest motherfucker.
no, just want to have fun on the street.
That's it.
That's
Cool.
why I got the 4-wheel drive. You know, traction on the street is important.
It is, yeah. We still now. Are we going to do anything else naturally aspirated, or we're going to keep it as is? That's really it's up to you. I mean, we could do a cold air and a freer flowing exhaust, and see if we can get into the 1270s, 1260s. But I mean, it's 2 tenths for how much work?
Right. Put this
Just
on.
put this
get
on.
done with it.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it just to know and, you know, be able to have maybe some bragging rights or something. And I don't know. But I don't know.
That's not the
worth
goal
it.
of this truck, I guess.
Yeah, now that I'm here with all these parts and focused on this, it'd be a little silly to put it back together and then go out and
Do NA stuff.
NA changes.
Exactly. All right, let's get it up in the air and we'll see where everything's going to get laid out. So, the turbo's so heavy, you need to go out and transcheck
Yeah.
for mock-up.
For mock-up.
All right, we just want to show you where it's going to be in orientation of the truck. Yeah.
I'm just going to put her seatbelt on real quick. Don't want to drop it.
What's the power capability of a turbo this size? Meaning, what at its peak, obviously depends on the air pump pushing it, but don't they?
100 horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that'll work. What do you think the blue GT500 with 2 of these will do?
It'll take forever to spool up.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you're right.
You'd have to do a smaller exhaust, obviously, but I mean, yeah.
I've thought about it, but that car's perfect. I really don't want to fuck with it. But that thing has a stock lower.
Ported.
No. Pulley. Stock crank pulley.
Oh,
It's just a 4 or 5 upper, you know? But it supposedly makes already 30 PSI, right?
yeah, it was 27.
29.
I think.
Oh, we can go 3 more pounds. More heat. Time. I have to bring the car here. And then working on the truck now. Diesel I can't rent. It has to be Expedition or Explorer. So
Oh, really?
yeah. They do per mile. They charge you per mile on a
Work
diesel.
truck, or what's the deal?
It'll be like an F250 or something. But they charge you per mile because it's a diesel. Whatever that means. All right, so we got some room back here. Damn, there is a lot of room back here. So it's going to be... Now, is there a big issue mounting it this far away?
I mean, it's not conventional, that's for sure. The closer you can get it to the engine, the better.
Right.
Because you got more heat, more velocity. It's going to spool up better. But the idea with the quick spool valve, you know, I'll wrap all the piping, header wrap it to try to keep the heat in. Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to work good. You know, it'd
That's
be
the
a bummer
plan.
if it doesn't, but it's worth a try. It's a lot easier. The reason I'm putting it here is because if you look up here, you think about putting.
There is
turbos
no
in there.
fucking
I
room.
do not want to fight with it like that, man.
Nah, you didn't get this truck to fight with it.
No, this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah. And
So-
it's not fun trying to put shit up in
Yeah,
there.
can it be done? Yeah, it's been done.
Yeah.
But
Do
no.
you want to do it now? All right, let me get the... Oh, I'm going to bump my head. I guarantee it. I'm trying to stand up. There we go. It'll be... What are those ATS? Remember those ATS kits? From
Yeah.
Corvettes or whatever? Corvettes and Cadillacs or whatever? What you looking at?
There's a shit ton of room right here.
Get out.
No, let's just go back.
There's a lot of room here. You haven't bought any pipes.
No, I got my list to get rid of.
Oh, you still have to spare doing all them hits, man? Shit. That's okay. Just turn it up 1 more pound.
What if I get a flat tire when I'm out there?
That's true,
You
that's
know?
true, that's true.
Okay, so this is about where she should live. You might have to go like a little bit like that or a little bit like this.
For the piping?
Yeah, well, mainly for the air filter clearance and the cold side coming out.
Oh.
The idea, I think, is going to end up going right on the outside of the frame
Okay.
and running up. You'll see there's a big
Void,
area
yeah,
here.
huge.
So the cold side more than likely will end up over here. The exhaust, like I said, we're going to come right from this flange. After this Y pipe, and then it'll split off into 2 or 3 2 and a half inch pipes. So, and then from here, 4-inch muffler gonna be here, or it could sit up in this area that we have all the way to this bump stop. I can put something here, even on a slight angle. And then the idea is just to run a 4-inch, just like the factory tailpipe goes through here, and it'll just be, you know, an inch bigger than, or whatever.
Okay.
You know.
So unassuming. You wouldn't even know what's going on.
It might look a little, you know, you might look at it twice going, why is it such a big exhaust pipe sticking out? But what I really would like to do is just have a little dump pipe or something just barely sticking out or not sticking out at all. But the problem I have with that is, for some reason on these trucks, the tailgate gets dirty as shit. I mean, it collects, you wouldn't believe how much dirt and crap it collects. So blowing down and blowing dirt up, I think it's just going to make this problem worse. So I'm going to stay away from that. So taking out the oil return pump here. So we got some gravity coming to the pump, which it doesn't necessarily need, but we have that option here. Boom, and then we'll run this up to the front. Pipe it in probably into the oil fill cap for now. Once I pull the timing cover off, I'll put a bung in there, make it a little cleaner. But
why are you taking the timing cover off?
you know, if I do oil pump gears,
Pump gears, right.
or crank gear,
Or both.
so yeah. Anyway, it fits real nice right there. And
Yeah, man.
we got plenty of room to come with our piping and sweep up. You know, essentially this is our low point. So we got 8-10 inches between here and the turbo.
That'll work. Well, hopefully. I mean, okay, what's the time frame? Like, you got parts ready to go? What's the deal? Like, what is your plan in terms of, all right, I want to get the cold side done or whatever, just mount, they make the bracket to mount the turbo, make it easy to take in and
Matter
out.
of fact, I got to grab that and show you. But,
All right.
just moving forward, man. I'm not going to break this up. I'm not going to stop working on it. The idea is just to
Do
mount
it.
the turbo, make sure my parts list is good, get it all here, and
Knock it out.
work on it as we can. Yeah.
How far? Go ahead. Go get what you got. But where's your parts list? In other words, you need obviously the piping.
Piping, silicone couplers, clamps, oil line, oil feed, oil return. I plan to run like a -6, maybe -4 vacuum line from the engine bay down near the turbo.
Okay.
And I'll put a vacuum block. That'll be for my wastegate, my blow-off valve. You know, it'll be one line to get it down there,
Okay.
nice and clean, and then I can branch off the lines from there. Oil line, you know, it's got to run from back there all the way to the front. So I got to, you know, just figure out how I'm going to route it. It'll all be clamped up against the frame or body. And like I said, the main thing is to get that turbo mounted where it fits with the air filter. My discharge is going to go up over the frame, so it needs to fit there. Once we get that mounted, then boom, we can just start making piping, and it should flow pretty good from there. I would think.
Cool. Did you want to get the bracket or
Yeah, I'm
something?
gonna grab the bracket.
All right.
This is a pretty sweet mount, that Maven.
What the hell is this?
This is the mount. It's like a pedestal for the turbo, or
What the
essentially
fuck?
we'll
Look at
make.
that.
Yeah, so the oil drain, it's an oil drain flange, really is what it is. Gives you -10 ORB thread. So you put a -10 fitting in here. This will go to the oil pump, but this bolts to the bottom of the turbo. And then you can put your tubing in here and mount it, you know, come over to the frame, bolt to the frame. You can
That
come
is the
over.
mount, basically.
This is the mount,
Okay.
yeah. So this is going to be how the turbo is mounted. And like I said, once we have that done, then piping, wastegates, all that should flow pretty good.
Just make sure you keep track of the parts list. Like make sure you keep track so you can duplicate it easy.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Very cool. All right, can't wait to see you start messing with it. If you do start messing with it, like piping and laying pipe in, and you're like, oh, I'm going to tack stuff today. Laying pipe. You start some. If you start laying some pipe, just call me. So I can see how it's being routed, or at least when you get the tubing and everything, the piping, I could just see it on the bench and see how it all goes.
Yeah. It'll make more sense when we do that too.
Cool.
Obviously.
All right, brother. Thank you very much for taking the time to explain what the deal is with the mamalona. Thought I'd give you guys an update on what's going to happen with the truck in the next coming weeks. So look out for that on the channel. Talk to you guys later.